Hello Aquarius, welcome to your monthly tarot reading for June 2023. I wanted to take this time to say a very big thank you to my regular followers. Thank you so much for joining me again. Thank you so much for supporting me. This is going to be very soon a year that I've had my YouTube channel, and it feels wonderful to, one, still be here, and two, watching it slowly grow and evolve, and I hope that you've enjoyed the journey as well. To those of you that are new, thank you so much. I hope you will like what you find here, and I hope you will like the video and subscribe if you feel called to. Thank you so much. Let's get started. Aquarius, we have quite an interesting mix of cards here. So we have your overall energy and how the energy is likely to flow through the month from one to another, or how it will transform, or how they will work together. So you have transformation and you have seclusion. Now, with both these cards, I was really drawn to the light in these. So I believe in your reading, they are working together. They're not, one's not going to lead to another, or they are actually working together. You have the 4-week breakdown, or how the energies are likely to play out. In week 1, you have the Knight of Cups. Week 2, you have the 7 of Pentacles. Week 3, you have the Knight of Wands. And week 4, you have the Chariot. A lot of movement there. And then you have aging and service. Now, it's very interesting when I pulled when both these cards fell out, but when the aging card fell out, my immediate like a thought that came to me was it's getting long in the tooth. Or you've milked it for all you could. So there's this sense of whatever you've been doing, trying to do, there's a sense of enough's enough. There's a sense of you can't keep hitting your head against the same brick wall. You know, there's a moment of clarity that comes when you realize I'm not doing that anymore. Or there's a sense of you've been striving and trying to achieve something and it's not coming about. Or you've been holding on to something in the past and it's like, you know, it's time to let it go. Now, Aquarius, I say that with a lot of love and compassion, because it's easy for people outside of us to see where we let ourselves down, to see what we're holding on to see what, you know, we're still striving for when it actually ended ages and ages ago. But it's not easy as human beings to let go of things, especially when we haven't seen results. You know, when we have a goal and we strive for that goal and we're working towards that goal and we accomplish that goal, then it's very, very easy to go, right, what next? But when we haven't achieved the goal, when a part of ourselves says, but it could just be, you know, if I just keep going, it could just be right there. And sometimes that action is required. Sometimes we do need to stick in there. But I'm really, look at these two knights. Now the knights are the action cards in the court cards of the minor arcana. They're the ones that take the action steps. They're the doing card. And they're both looking at this Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is the card of reevaluation. You know, I'm tired. I've been working at this a lot. Is it still what I want? Is it reaping rewards? Am I seeing returns on this? And it doesn't just have to be, I mean, the pentacles are money and resources and things, but it doesn't just have to be money. But does it still fulfill me? Am I doing this because the idea in my head, I can't let it go? Or am I doing this because I've still got a fire in my belly and because it's so fulfilling? Notice there's no air sign here. Is this fulfilling? Does it fuel your passions, your fire? The aging here is there's just something that you've been holding on to for too long. There's something that I'm almost getting the message like it's almost like, you know, Spirit is whispering to you, Aquarius. Aquarius, it's been ages. Let it go. And Spirit is telling me that for each and every one of you listening, you know what that means. Now, I all of a sudden feel really emotional. So this is something that at one point meant so much to you. So much to you. It was, I have just gotten the words, the be all and the end all. It was everything to you. It meant everything to you. This can be a job, a person, a lifestyle, a place, a goal, like I mentioned earlier. But I feel that for a while it hasn't been in your service. And the reason, it's in the main overall energy for your reading, Aquarius. It's this transformation. Now, one thing that I have been getting through these June readings for the other signs, you know, and I start with Aries and I work my way through. So, you know, there's only Pisces to go. And the message has been very strongly from Spirit is that the universe no longer wants us to stay in the same place or in the same mindset that no longer serves us. It wants us to see where in our life we have transformed. And therefore, because of that, what part of our life no longer fits us. Aquarius, if you know, if you're watching for your, say this is your sun sign, look into what your moon and your ascendant sign is. And go and watch those, because I think they'll give you a bigger picture. I really feel for June, watching all three is really going to be quite telling, because the readings are similar but different. So having the three that you can amalgamate together will give you a really, I feel like a really in-depth reading. And I'm kind of, as I was saying that, I was almost going to say almost like a personal reading, and I stopped myself. My Spirit's actually said to me, You can say that. So I've said it. It will really resonate with you. Grab all three, because that's the way that you'll be able to piece it all together. This transformation, Aquarius, I feel that in each of you it's played out differently, of course, but I feel the similarity with you all is that you've probably played it down. I feel like you know that you've changed and are like, yeah, I've changed, yeah, I'm different, but I don't think you can see how much you've changed. And how it seems to, like, I'm looking at this light. So we've got the butterfly coming out of the cocoon. You know, and it's pretty much all the way out. And its wings are not open, but look at the light. These look like wings. This light spreads out. And I feel that this transformation might just be a part of you, like in an area, like in just a belief or a core value, or how you see yourself, or it can be in a very pinpointed area, just a very precise area. Thank you, Spirit. A very precise area, but it radiates and it transforms all areas of your life. And I don't think that you've actually really acknowledged that. I think you're just kind of getting on with life. And now this beautiful transformation that has taken place and is still taking place, I find that it's almost like an afterthought. It's almost like, well, that was interesting. Now, I've just got to get back to what I was doing. And Spirit's saying, no, Aquarius. The butterfly would do itself a huge injustice if it went back to its previous life when it was a caterpillar. I can't remember who I was. There's another zodiac sign that I was saying this to. The caterpillar's anatomy is made to crawl along branches. It sticks to branches. The butterfly's is not. It would walk. For starters, it's got 6 legs. I don't know how many legs a caterpillar has, but it's not made to crawl. It's made to fly. So its mode of transport, if you like, is its wings, not its legs. So for it to try to crawl from branch to branch, lugging around its wings, suddenly the transformation is hindering it. It's not the glorious possibility that it could have been. These wings enable a butterfly to expand and to go places the caterpillar never could have dreamt of, because the caterpillar didn't have time. If our mode of transport was our legs, most of us would never get to see another country. But because we can jump on a plane and fly, we can see so much more. We can experience so much more. And Spirit is telling me, you've been given these wings, or maybe they're still developing. There is a time where the butterfly comes out of the cocoon and it just has to sit there, because it has to allow its wings to dry. Like it has to kind of like almost regroup and go, right, okay, these are my wings. And at first, I think they have to dry for a while before they even, I think they maybe open them out, but they don't. And then I think they flap them. I think they, you know, start to move them. It's like, you know, as we get older, you know, you don't just bounce out of bed. You kind of get out of bed and then you'll do a few stretches just to wake your body up. And it's that kind of thing. And that's why your other overall energy, and the reason why I believe they work simultaneously and together, they're not one leading to another, is you've got the seclusion. Now this is a beautiful card. You know, this is like, oh, how restful and peaceful, how glorious. And it's almost like, allow yourself that time to realize what you've been through, how you have changed, how you've transformed, because it's super important. Because sometimes our transformations happen on such an inner, deep level that if we're rushing about our life, we miss how that transformation can help us in our present moment. We don't want this seclusion. We don't want this retrospective, this going inwards, this time of calm, reflection, contemplation. Gathering the wisdom, the clarity, the new understandings that have come to you, and seeing how they apply in your life. Seeing them, how they change aspects of your life. The mountains in the background, the mountains in tarot signify accomplishments. They signify, thank you, Spirit, they signify having overcome obstacles. So when we don't take this time out, it almost makes those challenges that we've experienced just difficulties in our life. They're just bad time of our life. They're instances that we want to forget and push away. And yes, difficulties, you know, we do go through processes when we have difficulties in our life, and we do go through a process of just, you know, trying to pretend it's not there, or I'm over that. Yeah, I was over that ages ago, I'm fine. So there are processes that we go to, but where you are now, Aquarius, is the time to actually gather the wisdom from that. You can no longer, thank you, Spirit, it's no longer wise to ignore it, because now in this transformation, this seclusion, this time of integration just came to me, where you integrate what you've learned. That is where we gain our wisdom. When we see how it's changed us, and instead of us saying, oh, I blame, you know, making us a victim and playing the blame game, it makes us realize, wow, that gave me the opportunity to really change an aspect of myself, a belief. It really helped me see my self-worth, or it helped me see how courageous I am, how brave I am. Gosh, it makes me see how I'm standing. I'm actually on my 2 feet again. It will make you, they're just examples, Aquarius, but taking this time out will actually enable you to see an aspect of yourself that is going to really move you forward, an aspect of yourself that changes things in your life. Now let's go to the 4-week breakdown. So for the first week, you've got the the Knight of Cups. So this Knight of Cups has a plan. He has a goal. There's something that is drawing him forward, almost like magnetically pulling him forward. There's this love of self, love of others, love of what is. There's this gratitude and appreciation. And he's taking that and he's holding it out in front of him. And I feel that this is you offering yourself the path, a new path that leads to more fulfillment, that is more aligned with who you are, who you have become, what you would now like to achieve. It's in alignment with your heart. It's your heart that is calling you forward. This is not your mind guiding you. If anything in this reading, Aquarius, and I know this is something difficult for the majority of you, is you almost need to set your intellect aside. You need to say, okay, you know, my mind is going to have opinions on all this. It's going to caution me. It's going to show me all the possibilities that can go wrong. It's going to show me that, no, don't worry about this transformation. What you were doing, you were on a path. Stick with it, stick with it. But your mind, it's not to be squashed, Aquarius. It's not to be pushed down. I really, really don't believe in that. I don't believe that any of us should push away aspects of ourselves. I think it's really, really unhealthy. But there is a sense here that the gentleness of this Knight of Cups, I think that's what you need to offer yourself. That gentleness of going, do you know what? Let's just try. Let's just see where this could go, where this might go. We don't have to make massive changes, but let's start down this new path. The Knights are a new path. The Court cards basically take the aces, and that's how they move through that new journey that is the ace. So the Ace of Cups is the journey to fulfillment, something that really fulfills you. The Page accepts the cup and then gets curious about, what am I going to do with this? So it kind of investigates, what are the possibilities? It knows there's a possibility, but it doesn't quite know what to do with it. The Knight then, the Page then transforms to the Knight, the one who can take the steps forward. The Knight doesn't know necessarily all the steps, but it knows the next step. And then when it's done the next step, it knows that the next step will be made shown. And then the Queen is the energy of receiving what she needs. So she moves forward by allowing this new journey to bring her what she needs, the people, the knowledge, the understanding, the resources. And then it goes into the King, where the King then has everything. The journey has taught him everything he needs to know, and now he's in a position to give back. So it's really interesting energy. So you're not at the very beginning, Aquarius, because you've got the 2 knights. You're in the part of taking action. But I think what Spirit is asking you is, where are you taking this action? And I feel with this 7 of Pentacles here, a lot of you are still trying to move forward on your old path. Still trying to move forward with the baggages of the past. Moving in the direction that no longer serves you. This 7 of Pentacles, like I said earlier, it's very much the card of needing to pause and ask yourself the very difficult question, because it is difficult, Aquarius. I'm not sitting here going, just, you know, just check where you're at. It's easy, move on. It's not. It's not. And even asking yourself the question of, do I still want this? What is keeping me on this path? Is it that I've put in all this effort and I can't bear the thought of changing course, because then I feel like all my effort was for nothing? Spirit's asking me to give you an example. So imagine if you're a student and you've just finished a diploma in something, and now you realize, do you know what? You've gone for a few job interviews. Maybe you've even gotten a job, and you sit there and you think, gee, and suddenly it's almost like your heart's not in it. In those quiet moments, you go to yourself, whatever made me do that course in the first place? Why did I waste all my time doing that? And Spirit doesn't want you to go down that path, Aquarius. That's something really, really important. Every path that we take was right for us at the time. There is something, so there is something in that, going back to our little story, there's something in that course that was the catalyst for your transformation. So to now sit and go, why did I waste all my time? It's like you're not taking into account how it changed you, what it brought to you. This can be relationships, this can be places, this can be new people that have come into your life. It can be so many different things. But there's a sense that it doesn't work for me anymore. There's a sense, now that's not to say all of it, but there's definitely something here that needs to be tweaked. Something here is asking you. He's holding the Ace of Wands. I mean, it's his little plough thing, little shovel. But, you know, the wands ask us to be aligned with our passions and our dreams and our goals, and what fires us, what fuels us, what gets us out of bed in the morning. It's the excitement, it's the soul calling, it's our purpose. And this, there's no fire there. There's a lot of effort, but there's no oomph and fire behind that effort. Now, with the 7 of Pentacles, Aquarius, the 7 of Pentacles tells us that there once was. The 7 of Pentacles tells us that this is something that hasn't just happened. This is something that has been progressing through. So there is something in your life at the moment shining a light to show you that your passion no longer lies there. But the work has been done in the past. So the analogy of, you know, studying and then getting a job, and the job is now the light shining, telling you, oh, this is not actually for me. You know, it's not easy. Spirit is asking me to share a little story with you. Please indulge me. But when I was young, I no longer wanted to follow. I was never academic. And I was like, you know what, Mum, I don't want to go to school anymore. I want to get a job and I want to start living my life. And at the time I was 17, and Mum said, no, you have to stay in school at least until you're 18. And the high school I was in weren't too keen about, you know, just going off. So they said, you know what, do side training. You don't have to go on to university or anything like that. Do courses. So I did an accounting course for 2 years. Went for a job, was shortlisted. I was actually living in Europe at the time, and it was my English that got me through. I was living in France at the time, and it got me through. And there was basically, out of, I think there were hundreds of people that applied for this job, I was selected in the final 5. And they sat me in this office and said, right, this is where you would work, this is your office, and we're giving you some work that you will be doing just to see how you go. And I sat behind that desk, and they shut the door behind them, and I went, oh my God, this is going to be my day in, day out. And I choked. They came back about 10-15 minutes later, and I wasn't even, I was so blocked that I couldn't even read what they had given me. Like, I just couldn't, my brain literally just froze. And they kind of said to me, are you okay? And I said, I don't think this is for me. And they kind of, you know, said, what do you mean? And I was so blessed because there was an elder gentleman. I was 19. I was so young, and there was an elder gentleman, maybe in his 50s, and a woman probably in her 30s. And they said to me, look, leave it for today, go home, and on Monday, so they gave me basically, I don't know, it would have been Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. They gave me almost a week. They said, on Monday, we'll give you a call and we'll see how you're going. And I went home, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, how do I tell my mum? But I did, and I didn't take the job, and I ended up finding a job in retail where I saw lots of people and got to talk to lots of people, and that suited me better. And that's this energy. Aquarius, there's this courage that you need that is not easy. It's not easy. But it will show you that something is not quite right. Now that effort, whatever this was, the years that you've put into this loving, committed relationship, the years that you've put into the company that you're working for, the dedication that you've put into a book or a business, or apply it to however it fits to you, it's really time to look at how it makes you feel, because your passion's shifted. And I feel that this Knight of Wands has 2 very important messages. It's going backwards. And I feel that if you continue on this path, your passion was in the past for it. So you're not going to have this fire in your belly that moves you forward. It's almost like the horse is going to want to keep turning around and facing the other way, and the knight is going to really have to hold on to it to keep it going the course that it wants. So there's so much energy that's going to be used to keep you where you are now with very little benefit. And even if you do succeed, Aquarius, and this is something that Spirit really wants you to know, you could succeed. But that success then will be like, oh, gosh, I expected to be happier or more fulfilled once I succeeded in this. But your heart was no longer in it. So it's almost like you're doing it now to tick a box, you know, to tick something off your list, cross something off your list. I've done that. And there's almost this sense that you want to stay at it until you've actually done it. And then you'll give it up. But there's something so powerful in stopping midway. Stopping midway when you know the path is, you're not stopping midway. Thank you, Spirit. You're not stopping midway, Aquarius, because it got too hard. That's not the reason. And don't tell yourself that. This Seven of Pentacles, it's not because it's gotten hard. It's because his heart's not in it anymore. There's no fire in his belly to keep going. He's had accomplishments. But he's like, oh, I expected all this joy, this, I did it. I want to go and celebrate. But you're kind of like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, cool, okay. And this is a heads up from Spirit that, Aquarius, we don't want to live our life like that. I mean, we can't always live our life exuberant and energetic and this passion and drive, and, you know, we'd burn out just the same. But there's this, and thank you, Spirit. Spirit's just said to me, you know what the fire in your belly is, because you had fire in your belly when this started. So you know that it's gone. It's interesting because Spirit has kind of given me the, come on, they know. They know. So there's this sense of you need to have compassion for yourself, but you also need to kind of little kick up the backside, Aquarius. And I say that with so much love because I know it's not easy to do. Because the Chariot's here. And there's the sense of, you know what? The fruit you will bear when you're not in alignment is nothing like the fruit you'll bear when you are in alignment. So what I mean by that is, if you're not in alignment with what you're doing, you can reach the very, 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 very top, and there'll be something lacking. When you are in alignment with what you do, you can still be at the very bottom, meaning the very bottom is the very beginning. You could be halfway through. You could have reached the glass ceiling where you can't actually go any higher, but it still makes you happy. It still fuels you. And there's this sense that this transformation, this quiet time, is really important to put you into alignment. And what wants to come into alignment? Your heart's desires aligning with your goals and your dreams. You becoming aligned with your heart and your spirit. Let's have a look at this aging card. The card says, I am one with unlimited love, beyond all seeming restrictions of age. I am filled with joy, energy, and beauty, a vessel for the divine Shakti. So the divine energy. And I feel that this age here, aging, I don't feel that it's talking about your age group, how old you are. I feel it's talking about, don't look at how much time has lapsed in an old journey. Don't look at a 30-year marriage and make that the reason why you stay. Don't look at 5 years of training as the reason why you stay in that industry, or you go for a job in that industry. They're not good enough reasons, my friends. And we have service. Service. I'm not sure if that's going to focus very well, but it says you stop using the universe to try to get what you want and start asking love to use you. You offer all and want to be of service. Ironically, many desires become fulfilled without grasping or manipulation. And I feel, Aquarius, this card is so befitting to end on, because in this Seven of Pentacles, when our passion has dwindled and we're kind of like going, oh gosh, am I really going to have done all that work for nothing? We grasp. But when we let it go and go, okay, well, maybe I needed to do this path in order to understand this, in order to see where my true passions lie. So for me, it wasn't the work. It was that closed door of the office, and I realized I'm going to spend my days on my own. A little bit on the telephone, yes, and what did I need at that age? I needed people. I needed different. I went to the complete opposite, which is retail. But had not had that experience, I wouldn't have known what I really truly needed, what my true self was longing for. And this service card is to show that it's not all lost. And it says here, ironically, many desires become fulfilled without grasping or manipulation. So it's like the next step when you decide, oh gosh, you know what? I don't want this anymore. You'll be surprised how life unfolds very quickly, because you're in alignment. And the Chariot is fast energy. The Chariot and the Eight of Wands depict great speed, things happening quickly. And the Chariot is in alignment. Things will happen very quickly. I think once you admit this, I think that's all that needs to happen here in these quiet moments. You don't even need to know what you're going to change to. You don't even know what you're going to do different. You know, I didn't know I wanted to go into retail. That's just what, when I made space for it, that's what came to me. And I realized, oh, yes, this fits me so much better. And I think that's what's going to happen with you once you realize, okay, you know what, I'm going to let that go. The space then brings in that next thing. Oh, wow. Aquarius, not easy, but I just got the word try. Just allow yourself to see this. Allow yourself to let it go. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends. Love and light, Aquarius. Have a wonderful month. Sending you so many blessings. See you next time. Bye-bye.